And today we will answer the question of user George Caballero, Castillo2435, who asked, how is the reconstruction of Ukraine going? It is very hard to answer this question because in the conditions of war, it is not possible to build large-scale plans for the restoration of the country's infrastructure, but now there is an opportunity to prepare project documentation for the future. However, infrastructure restoration is still taking place. In those places where peaceful life has been restored, infrastructure is being built at the expense of local budgets. The situation with the railway is different. Budget funds and Ukrzaliznytsia own funds are used there. Roads and infrastructure are also restored at the expense of local budgets and the balance of the road fund of the country's central budget. And you don't need to forget about the restoration of the energy sector. During all the winter Russian heated-out power plants, distribution and transformation stations, repair of energy facilities, which should last a month, is carried out by Ukrainian energy workers in a few days, said Volodymyr Kudrytsky, the head of Ukrenergo. According to the assessment of the World Bank and the UNDP, the scale of destruction caused to the Ukrainian energy system is exceptional. Only the primary needs for the restoration and protection of the Ukrenergo high-voltage network this year amount to almost $1 billion. The government of Ukraine has improved the unified digital recovery management system. Prime Minister of Ukraine Denis Shmyhal, at the meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers, named 3 goals of this pilot project. Thus, its action will be extended not only to infrastructure but also to construction and real estate. These decisions will contribute to the speedy restoration of Ukraine.
The project has 3 goals. The first is to speed up recovery, to strengthen its inclusiveness. The second is to ensure the transparency of processes and increase the trust of citizens and foreign partners. The third is to more effectively attract resources for recovery. State registrars and entrepreneurs are exempted from the fee for obtaining exec from the state register. The principle of single window will be implemented to obtain the right to build and state registration of ownership of the constructed facility.
In the plan for the rapid recovery of Ukraine for 2023, presented by the Cabinet of Ministers, we are already talking about hundreds of different projects. Hundreds of cities and towns where recovery will take place simultaneously. In particular, the government has identified 6 settlements where restoration will take place according to completely new principles. These are Borodyanka and Moshchun in the Kyiv region, Trostianets in Sumy, Posad Pokrovske in the Kherson region, Tsirkuni in Kharkiv, and Yahidne in the Chernihiv region. All of them will be restored comprehensively. This means that not individual buildings and structures will be rebuilt, but all with a systematic approach, a new layout, and a complete transformation of these settlements. The rebuilding of Ukraine was the most ambitious project of the 21st century, requiring huge resources. But at the same time, recovery opened up countless opportunities and prospects, especially for business, which will be the engine of change. In 2023, the Ukrainian government plans to implement restoration projects worth $14 billion. 5 priorities have been identified: energy recovery, humanitarian demining, housing rehabilitation, critical and social infrastructure, and private sector development. According to the Prime Minister of Ukraine, the state faces 2 main tasks: to win and start restoration now, without waiting for the end of the war.